I ghosted my boyfriend after I found out who he really was. Nobody knew why, and I think people thought I was weird for a long time. Hello, Morgan. I'm a huge fan, and your show saves me during my work commutes. I figured since I listen so much, I should contribute. Here is my story. 30 female, had just started dating a really nice guy, 40 male. We were on one of our first dates, having a great time. Considerate, fun, seemed like a really good person. At one point during our conversation, he told me he was once married and has since divorced. He also told me his ex-wife later passed away from cancer. At this point, I felt a cold wash of dread start from the top of my head down to my toes. Because when he first asked me out, I thought he looked slightly familiar out after he told me of his former marriage. He was the one who used to come to my place of employment with his then wife. I work in healthcare, and we watched over time how he abandoned her during her treatment when it got in the way of his social life. How she had to deal with everything on her own during her final months. He divorced her in her most vulnerable time. It's the worst. I hated him. He was sitting in front of me at dinner, and I wanted nothing more than to smash his pasta dish in his face.
Should have.
But I was also really stupid and couldn't bring myself to break up with him right away. We went on some more dates, and each time I tried to reconcile who I knew he was with who he appeared to be. But I couldn't do it anymore. As someone who loves to avoid confrontation, I slowly pulled a Homer Simpson and faded gently into the bushes. He eventually got the hint something wasn't right when I wasn't responding to his calls or messages and broke up with me via email. This day, I wonder what he thought happened. I know his friends thought I was a horrible person for just up and disappearing. Many of his social circle were not around during his marriage. I couldn't just tell him I thought he was a terrible person who abandoned his dying wife. He definitely did not remember me from my past workplace. I was a student and didn't do the main interacting with them. Anything? Or made up a reason? He has since married, and I feel terrible for his wife. What if she got sick? But I also couldn't really say anything because it's also partially patient confidentiality. People think he is great. They think I'm the kind of person who ghosts dates. 10 years since this happened, and I still reel over how I dodged a bullet. How wonderful and kind he seemed, and how terrible his past history was.